Welcome to Kaumudy Global. Sri Lanka's parliament on Wednesday approved the state of emergency imposed on July 13 to give the security forces sweeping powers to arrest and detain individuals after the then President Gotabaya Rajapksa fled to the Maldives and resigned amid massive uprising against him over the country's economic crisis. The emergency regulations declared by the then Acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe needed parliamentary sanction within 14 days. It was approved on Wednesday with 120 MPs voting for it and 63 against in the 225-member parliament. Wickremesinghe was elected Sri Lanka's president on July 20. The main opposition SJB and the main Tamil party TNA voted against it, while at least 4 of the ruling SLPP members voted against it. With Wednesday's parliamentary sanctioning, the state of emergency would be in force until August 14. During a debate in Parliament, the opposition lawmakers accused Wickremesinghe of ordering a crackdown on the peaceful protesters by using the state of emergency. The government was blamed for unleashing a crackdown on protesters who had forced the resignation of the Rajapksa family. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna SLPP argued that protesters were terrorists and were being led by extremist political elements who wanted anarchy to prevail. Main opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said, "Protesters were peaceful for months. Where was the beginning of violence?" he asked, accusing the government of unleashing violence on May 9 by attacking the protesters. Earlier, addressing Parliament, newly appointed Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said the government is ready to listen to the demands of democratic public protesters, but denounced acts of terrorism, calling it the greatest threat to democracy. Sri Lanka's security forces forcibly evicted anti-government protesters camped outside the presidential office in Colombo in a pre-dawn raid last week on the order of President Wickremesinghe that left more than 50 people injured. The assault on the protesters evoked widespread criticism, including from foreign envoys stationed in Colombo. The rights group came out vocal on Wednesday after a leading protest activist named Danish Ali was arrested on board a flight to Dubai on Tuesday night. He was seen storming the state television on July 13 by forcibly halting its transmission during the uprising. The police said he had evaded an arrest warrant issued on July 22. After the Sri Lankan military crackdown on the anti-government protesters, the besieged presidential office reopened on Monday. We couldn't forget those visuals where the presidential office building was occupied earlier this month by protesters angered by Sri Lanka's unprecedented economic crisis. At that time, the then President Gotabaya Rajapksa fled the country to Maldives before flying out to Singapore. Rajapksa had offered his resignation after fleeing the country through an mail. Sri Lanka's economy is bracing for a sharp contraction due to the unavailability of basic inputs for production, an 80% depreciation of the currency since March 2022, coupled with a lack of foreign reserves and the country's failure to meet its international debt obligations. Hundreds of Sri Lankans continue to queue up at petrol pumps across the debt-ridden country every day amid fuel shortage, and a large number of people are ditching their cars and motorcycles for the bicycles for their daily commute. The economic crisis, which is the worst in Sri Lanka's history, has prompted an acute shortage of essential items including fuel, cooking gas, etc. I am Shreya signing off. If you liked the video, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates.